Okay, we were running late from our last meeting, so if we'll settle down, we'll go ahead and get started with our regular session meeting. You ready? Okay, I'm gonna call to order the January meeting for the Design Review Board. We meet each month with the purpose of reviewing certificates of appropriate for construction, alteration, demolition, relocation within Aiken's historic districts in an effort to help Aiken retain its historical character. We begin by reviewing the minutes each month, and then the board will vote on the minutes. If you have an application or if you would like to speak, because this is a public meeting, we ask that you come up to the podium and give us your name and address to introduce yourself to the board, and then we'll hear the comments. I'd ask for non-applicants to try to hold your comments to 3 to 5 minutes, just in the essence of time. And then after the comments, the discussion session is over, the board will make a decision based on the guidelines that we have to go by. And I think we had a announcement you wanted to make, Rebecca?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to announce to everyone that next Thursday on January 15th, WLA Studios, who are the contractors doing our survey work, will be holding a special call work session here to speak with the board and the public. So please, we'll have signs up, but also spread the word to anyone who might like to attend. Yep. Also, there's a parkway on Charleston Street between Colleton and South Boundary, and our city horticulturalist has discovered that there are 22 diseased water oaks. So in an effort to prevent a spread of that disease, they will shortly be beginning removing those trees and trenching around it to make sure the root systems don't spread that disease.
Thanks for letting us know about that. And you should have seen the WLA signs around the neighborhood. And that whole WLA process isn't scheduled to be over with until September. So lots of opportunity for us and the public to have input on that as we go through that new survey, historical survey. Okay, I've got down approval of the minutes for the December 2nd work session and regular meeting is the next on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the work session. Can we do the work and the regular session at the same time? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that we approve the minutes from the work session and the regular call session on December the 2nd.
I'll second it.
All right, I hear a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, that was unanimous. So the minutes of the previous session from December have been approved. Also, I noticed we have dates for our upcoming meeting in here for the 26 meetings. This November 3rd meeting, is that going to interfere with elections?
It will. So if there are any changes y'all would like me to make, just go ahead and let me know in advance if you don't mind.
Well, do we have to vote to approve these dates?
I think if it's so far out in advance that a vote is not necessarily required.
Okay. Well, I'd like to request that we go ahead and move the November meeting a little bit, maybe 2 days or something.
Thursday?
Yeah, the Thursday,
Okay.
in order to avoid any cancellations at the last minute.
Okay.
Any other dates like that you saw that we may have an issue with?
Not that I noticed.
Okay. All right. Well, if somebody sees one, let us know and we'll try to proactively change those dates as well. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay. Next up is the election of officers. And so at this time, I'll take nominations for, do we start with each office individual?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Chairman.
So the chairman will be first. Any nominations for chairman?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I nominate you again for chairman.
Well, Pat had her hand up as well.
Going to do that, so I'll second it.
Okay. All right. So we have a nomination and a second for that one. Then do we vote or do we go to the next? How does this work? I'm
Vote.
sorry.
You vote and then you go to the next officer.
Okay. All right. Apologize, guys. I'm just dragging along here. So any other nominations? Okay, so it sounds like we have a nomination and a second for Ben Lott as chairman for 2026. All those in favor? I can't vote. Yeah, all those opposed? Okay, it looks like you guys are stuck with me another year. And thank you for your vote of confidence. So next we'll go to our vice chair, right? Pat?
Nominate, John
John McMichael, okay.
for vice chairman.
Okay, so we have a nomination for John McMichael for vice chair. Any seconds?
Second.
Second, okay. Any other nominations? Okay. Oh, hearing that, we will take a vote for John McMichael as vice chair. All in favor? Okay, John, you're stuck again.
Thank you.
All right, now secretary's last. Okay, so now I'd like to take nominations for the secretary of our board. Last year it was Rebecca Seymour. And normally we do a member of staff for that position. Any nominations?
Rebecca Seymour.
Okay, so I've got a nomination for
Second.
Rebecca and a second. Any other nominations? Okay, all in favor? All right. Any opposed? Okay, all right.
And Rebecca, in case if you're not able to, you have an able
Have to have a
replacement.
fill-in, yeah.
That's right, she's very able.
All right, good deal. All right, I'm glad we got that behind us. So, did we say something about a change to the agenda? We have to vote on a change to the agenda?
We've had 2 postponements, one by staff and one by the applicant.
Okay. Which one was the staff?
Item
The last.
H.
H, okay, the last one, okay, and we've already talked about why, but basically, they requested that. No, we did because
That
of the
was separate.
posting issue, okay, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so we'll need a motion to remove that, and let's go ahead and talk about the next one. There was another one?
Yes, item D under new business. That was 259 Lancaster Street Southwest. The applicant, or the owners, sorry, let me know that they were unable to attend tonight and asked that we postpone to February.
Okay, all right,
Do we have to make a motion
separately.
separately?
Yep.
Okay.
So do I hear a motion for,
I'll start
Okay.
one, Mr. Chairman. Item H, which is application CERD 26-001020. We are postponing that till the next meeting.
okay, any second? All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, and any other agenda changes recommended? Nomination, motions?
Well, since I did the first, application number CERH 26-024 has been deleted from the meeting tonight.
Okay. So we'll motion to remove item D from our agenda tonight.
They were not able to attend.
Yeah. A second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, that one always carries. So we now have an amenda agenda for tonight's meeting. Okay, what else did I forget, Rebecca?
I think that's all.
I forgot plenty, okay. All right, thank you for your patience, everybody. All right, the first application is item B. Rebecca, if you'd introduce that application.
Item B under new business, application number CERH 26-021. Applicants Andy and Amy Thalacker are requesting approval to conduct various alterations at 510 Highland Park Terrace Southwest. Tax map parcel 105-35-01-005. The applicants propose to remove and relocate the side porch steps to the rear yard and replace the front-facing steps with railings matching those existing on the porch. Additionally, a white vinyl-clad French door is proposed to be installed at the rear of the structure. The applicants also propose to remove a chimney from the rear of the structure that was used for an old furnace. As the furnace is no longer in use and the chimney is barely visible from the front of the home, the applicants are requesting approval to remove the chimney and shingle over it. The applicants further propose to conduct landscaping work, including adding a circular drive, fencing, gates, a patio, a paved walkway, and a masonry wall. The applicants are proposing to construct a rear addition master suite. It will include white double-hung vinyl-clad windows to match the existing windows as closely as possible. The brick removed from the rear of the structure will be reused for the addition foundation, and it will have fiber cement lap boarding. The brick removed from the rear of the structure will be reused for the addition foundation, and it will have fiber cement lap board siding. A white vinyl French door will be included to the patio, and the composite load-bearing column will be painted white. The addition will have black architectural shingles to match the existing roof. The applicants are also proposing to convert the existing garage into a cabana garden structure. This proposal includes replacing 2 garage doors with French doors and a white double-hung vinyl-clad window with trim matching the primary structure. The concrete block siding will be painted green, and a wood pergola and patio is proposed to be added to the front. The existing black shingled roof is proposed to be replaced with a new black shingled roof, and fascia and trim repair work are also proposed as necessary. However, repairs and replacements in kind such as these are considered routine maintenance and do not require approval via certificate of appropriateness. This is a contributing property located within the Historic Overlay District, specifically Historic District 3, and is zoned single-family RS-15. The Aiken Historic Resource Survey card lists the construction date as circa 1940s. The Aiken County Assessor's website lists the construction date as 1948. The application was reviewed at the December 2nd, 2025 DRB work session. I believe our applicants are here as well.
Please come forward. Yes, sir. Please introduce yourself and give us your address.
Thank you. My name's Andy Thalacker. My wife Amy Thalacker and I live at 510 Highland Park Terrace in Aiken.
Okay. Is there anything, Mr. Thalacker, that you'd like to add to staff comments?
No, other than I think for the garage, they had a tree come down through there during Hurricane Helene, and they reshingled it then, so we probably won't reshingle it again unless somebody tells us we need to. But other than that, that's the plan. We no changes since the work group.
Okay. Well, this is a pretty extensive remodel, and looking over your plans, it doesn't really change the character of the front of the house very much, but it really adds a lot of functionality throughout the house. So I can tell you guys have really put a lot of thought into your changes. I think we've already talked about the setbacks, but I'll mention it again just for the record. Go to the setback page, Rebecca, page 8. Can't see it good on that one. Can you go to the one with just a sketch? Or you not have it? There it is, right there. So about midway of the top of the screen, you can see where the existing house sits within the 10-foot setback, but that is existing on that corner. So that does not need to be changed. And then if you look at the other touch points as you go around, the only one that encroaches on the new part of the construction is the deck on the bottom, and decks are allowed to go within the setback. So if there's a question about that, there is an encroachment, but it is a grandfathered encroachment. So you're good on all of that.
And I think that's actually planned to be a patio. So
Is it a patio?
yeah.
Yep.
So no.
Yep. As long as it doesn't have a roof on it, you're good. Okay. Anything else that I'm failing to point out? I guess I'll open this up for questions from the board for Mr. Thalacker. Any comments or questions?
It was very helpful to have that presented at a work session because it's a pretty, I guess you'd say, comprehensive reevaluation of the spaces of the house being really too small.
It's
You're
we
making-
love the neighborhood, and we didn't want to make any changes to the front at all, but we did need some more space in back for sure.
Was it a 2-bedroom house?
It's 3-bedroom, 1 bath.
That's what it was.
Yes,
I was trying to figure out where they were.
and
Okay.
so we're just going to add that one extra master suite with a little sitting area on the back.
I appreciate very much that you didn't change the front of it, because the houses are, it's a great street, and the houses are pretty set, and it wouldn't have been in harmony with the neighborhood if you had added it on in the front. And so I really appreciate your thoughtfulness and your consideration of putting it to the rear of the property.
We love the way it looks. It's, we're just super happy to be there.
Okay. Any other questions from the board for Mr. Thalacker? Okay, I'll ask you to sit down, and we'll see if there's a member of the public who would like to speak in favor of this application. Come forward at this time. Anyone will speak opposed to this application, please come forward at this time. Okay. Seeing no public comments, then we will move to a motion. Do I have a motion from a member of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I'll, since Ahmad is not here tonight, I'll make the motion. Yes, with regard to application CERH 26-021 for some fairly comprehensive additions to the rear of an existing house. I move that we approve these because they essentially will not change the street appearance of the property almost at all. And if we look through our guidelines under existing buildings for roofs, chimneys, porches and balconies, and entrances, as well as additions, it does conform to our guidelines, and so that the addition is compatible with the existing structure that's there, although it distinguishes itself as an addition. So I move that we approve these changes.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. All right. Hearing no further discussion, I'll ask for a show of hands, all in favor. And that's a unanimous vote, so none opposed. Thank you for all you've done, and good luck with your project. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Okay. Rebecca, will you move us on to item C?
Item C under new business, application number CERH 26-023. Applicant Jason Jones is requesting approval to replace windows and replace the garage door at 431 Dupree Place Southwest, tax map parcel 105-12-15-001. Some of the existing wood windows will not open, while others are stuck open, which is causing wind, air, and heat to enter the home. For this reason, the applicant is requesting window replacements. The proposed replacements are white vinyl Series 8300 double-hung windows with grids between the glass. Additionally, the applicant is proposing to replace the vehicular garage door with a new black pedestrian door. The remaining space will be bricked in. This is proposed because the applicants plan to renovate the interior of this garage space to create a laundry and mudroom. The proposed door will include a 3x3 window. The applicant also mentions plans to construct a carport in front of the existing garage and rebuild a barn. However, the applicant has decided to remove those proposals from this application and will bring those projects before the board in a separate certificate of appropriateness application at a later date. This property is located within the Historic Overlay District, specifically Historic District 1, and is zoned single-family RSS. This property does not have an Aiken Historic Resource Survey card. DRB staff and the Historic Aiken Foundation president reviewed the 2010 Historic Survey, the 1989 Historic Survey, the Historic District designation applications, and other documents. However, we were unable to discover a designation status assigned to this property. The owner has referenced page 4 of the Design Review Manual, which provides a definition and examples of non-contributing properties to support her belief that the property is non-contributing. The Aiken County Assessor's Report lists the construction date of the residence as 1959 and the stable as 2006. I believe Mr. Jones is here to represent the applicant.
Please come forward and give us your name and address.
Jason Jones, and we are here for 431 Dupree Place Southwest.
Okay. Would you like to add anything to the comments read by the staff?
Just a little insight on the garage door. The garage door was only 8 foot, so when we put that 3-foot door in there, I mean, we were only putting about 5 foot of brick in there to close that little area in. So the garage door wasn't like a massive double door from the get-go. And the windows, as I said in the work session, they're just in terrible shape. It stayed cold in there during the wintertime, and I know the cold still isn't over, so they're still going to have to reap a little bit of that.
Right.
But the main reason is we're doing all the work to the inside. Might as well make that outside appearance also match what the inside's going to look like.
Right. Right. Okay. Any comments from the board or questions?
I just have one question I wanted to confirm. I think we talked about it when we were in work session, but the windows are not visible from the street, is that correct?
There's only 3 windows really on the front of the house that you can see from the street, because the house cuts back to the right on the right side, and those 2 windows are hid by the trees. And then you can't see really even down the left side of the house. So, and the main windows are on the back side of the house is where the majority of the windows are. So,
Okay, thank you very much. That's what I wanted to know.
yes, ma'am.
Anybody else? Questions? Okay, we'll have you sit down and see if there's any member of the public like to speak in favor of this application. Come forward at this time. Okay. Please give us your name and address.
Good evening, Mark Carman, C-A-R-M-A-N, 338 Dupree. I live across the street from the applicant. I just would let you know that we're pretty pleased with what they're doing with the house, the work they've done interiorly. They have not changed the exterior of the house. The garage door, I live right across the street. I can't see the garage door because it's kind of around the corner on the side of the house. The windows are difficult to see because they're on that porch, so I guess they're technically visible from the front. But I understand there's some issue with the designation, though. And I'm wondering why that's critical, whether it's a contributing or non-contributing property. The nature of this application appears to not be significant, regardless of whether it was contributing or non-contributing, because it's not changing the texture of the house. And I'm wondering why. I understand there may be some delay for these people. They've already suffered quite a bit of delay, and whether or not this could be done administratively under the bylaws of this committee, because it does not create any substantial change to it.
In recent years, we have had a lot of issues with properties not having designations per city ordinance. And so the ordinance clearly and the guidelines are set up to make determinations on properties like this based on the classification. The classifications are non-contributing, contributing, and landmark. I think you and I could agree that this is probably a non-contributing property. However, that right to make that designation is solely up to city council. So the DRB cannot make that determination. Under the classification of non-contributing, it is okay to replace the windows with grids in between the glass on the windows. Under the designation of a contributing property, the windows would have to be replaced with simulated divided light where the grids are exterior and interior permanently applied to the glass so that it looks more like a historical window. So we have the dilemma of what's the designation in order to approve the application or not approve the application. I hope that helps.
It does, and I wasn't able to do a great amount of legal research in the 5 minutes on my phone that I had available to me.
Right.
And so I was mainly looking at the bylaws. I'm wondering whether or not you could administratively approve the garage portion of the job and allow the windows to wait until they can go through the designation process.
We actually, at the work session, we were trying to figure out a way how to, because it's clear that it may or may not be contributing, but the kind of work that wants to be done on this, it really almost doesn't matter. And so I was concerned, I brought up the same thing that you did, Mark, and that same subject, and I'm still struggling with that. But just if we could agree, at least if we could approve on the garage door, that would
Just
at
a
least-
suggestion. I don't want to make your lives more complicated. Thank you for listening to me. I'll let
That
you guys
make-
discuss it.
But thank you for taking the time to speak.
That makes sense.
Okay. Anyone else want to speak in favor of this application? All right. Anyone want to speak opposed? Okay. Everybody's had their chance to talk. All right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
we can't, can we not go ahead and approve this, provided it's designated as non-contributing?
I think we can.
If we can do that now, that would
Right.
save them a step. Would that not save them a step if they got the city council to say it was non-contributing?
Yep. And so I think that's exactly what we want to do, is to conditionally approve the application as presented. And the condition is if city council agrees with the non-contributing part. Now, in order to get that designation, you have to go through the planning committee and then city council. I'm sorry.
You got 3 meetings.
Right. Hopefully that works out good on the agenda, so maybe that only takes 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know.
Why does the planning commission even have to look at it?
Well, they have to advise city council on designations.
On any ordinances or whatever? Because I know,
Do you have
Crazy to add all those
any
steps.
designation? Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'm confused why we can't, at least consider the garage door. Could we bifurcate it ourselves? I mean, could we approve it and let them go ahead with the garage door now?
So can we bifurcate their application?
Yeah, we could.
Whether it's contributing or not? Mhm. Okay. The designation, right. Rebecca?
The one point I want to bring up, and I'm not a lawyer, disclosure, but I think the reason we are allowed to conduct administrative approvals is because you all have approved a matrix that specifically lists which project types qualify for an administrative approval, and those are based off of our designations.
Right.
So I guess maybe a question for legal counsel is, if we don't have a designation, can we use those matrices to determine that it can be done administratively?
I don't think we're talking about administrative approvals, are we? We're talking about the whole board voting?
Oh, separating and just waiting
But
on
it's
the.
still a board vote.
I understand.
Okay, okay. But that's a good question. Yes, sir.
One final question.
Please come forward and speak into the mic.
So if we go to the council with this whole project for the outside, I got a permit that's being held. And if the board, Mike Jordan, which is the inspector, said if the board approved it, that the permit would still be released. Could I still get the permit, or will we have to wait for the determination from the council before I could retrieve that permit?
Same.
Someone is going to answer that instead of me.
Yeah, it depends on what is in the permit. So if you have other work besides the windows and you remove that from the permit and we have approval from this board, you can go ahead and do that work. But we can't sign off on a building permit if it includes work that the DRB needs to approve.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah,
Awesome,
talk,
'cause I got 2 separate permits, so
Yeah.
that's good.
all right, so if you could do that, if not, just tell Mike you want to amend the application.
Gotcha.
Permit, right.
Yeah, of the permit.
Yep. Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Yeah, go ahead, Austin.
Maybe Mike can put the garage in.
Okay. All right, so council's advising us to have 2 motions, if we so choose to. One would be on the garage, and please, if we decide to do that, we would need to state that it's irregardless of the designation, that we would approve that either way.
Good idea.
Are you, any questions on that?
Every now and then, common sense.
Okay, that's right. And then we could have a second motion to deal with the windows. And that would be a conditional approval, based on, designation from city council. As non-contributing, right. So, yeah, and if they were to come back and we did an approval for a non-contributing property and they said, no, this is contributing, then you'd have to come back and get the approval as a contributing property. So, sorry about the paperwork. Okay, any questions? Are we ready for a motion? Okay,
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion with regard to the garage doors that we've discussed, that would involve replacing the garage doors with brick and a door that he submitted. And I personally do not find that has a negative impact on the neighborhood, and it would conform to our guidelines as far as being compatible with the neighborhood. I also believe, and we need to say that this is not contingent on whether the house is deemed non-contributing or contributing, that either way, the garage could be approved. And that may give the building official a little more leeway if he knows how we voted on the garage.
great.
I second the motion.
Second, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion? Okay, so we have an approval to do the garage portion, okay? So do we have a second motion on the windows?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion that we approve the, as submitted, the changes they want to make on all the windows. And that would be conditional on the city council designating the property as non-contributing.
Okay. Second?
I'll second it, and probably both Leland and I need to reference the application number CERH
Oh, yeah.
26-023
Okay.
for both motions.
Thank you. Okay, any further discussion? Okay. Hearing that, we have a motion to approve conditionally based on city council finding that it's a non-contributing property. All in favor? Okay. And that was unanimous as well. So both parts are approved from the DRB. And you'll have to work on the second one. So,
When we fill that out for the council, did we mention that it had got approved through the board already?
Yes.
I would, yep. Yep.
Jason, you can email me and talk with me, and I'll get you the application. I'll help you through the process.
Yep. Thank you, and appreciate your patience. Okay. We're ready to move on to E.
Item E, under new business, application number CERH26-030. Applicant Bonnie Vance is requesting approval to paint the roof at 623 Park Avenue Southeast, tax map parcel 121-10-26-002. The applicant is requesting retroactive approval to paint the roof as indicated in the application. The applicant is requesting approval to paint the existing red roof blue. The applicant began repainting the work, but was informed during the project that a certificate of appropriateness would be required. Therefore, the work is currently partially completed. This is a landmark property located within the Historic Overlay District, specifically Historic District 2, and is zoned multifamily low-density RML. The Aiken Historic Resource Survey card lists the construction date as 1906. The Aiken County Assessor's Report lists the construction date of the residence as 1924. The structure was designated as a landmark by City Council in Ordinance Number 0708991A in 1991. The application mentions replacing shutters. However, details on the replacement shutters were not yet submitted, so that request should be reviewed at a later date in a separate application. And I believe the Vances are here to speak for themselves.
Okay. Would you please come and introduce yourself and give your address?
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Vance Cushman Estate.
Okay.
I would like to paint my historical house blue.
Okay.
I didn't have any awareness I had to contact your guys. Please excuse me for that.
No problem.
When I painted the roof 15 years ago, they told me I didn't have any restriction to do that. They told me I could do it. So forgive me if I disrespect the committee.
That's quite all right. So when you changed it 15 years ago, did you keep the color the same or did you change it?
I changed it brighter.
So it was a darker red, you made it a
That's
little
right.
lighter?
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to add to this application that wasn't read?
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the old shingles and paint them. I'm in the process now of painting the historical site white. It turned out very pretty.
Good.
And that's about it.
Okay.
I am very much in love with my historical home, Senator Edmund Cushman Estate.
Right. And we are too, by the way. We
Thank
all
you.
think you have a beautiful home and are grateful for your participation in the historic character of the neighborhood.
I
Do you want to
appreciate
speak to, sir? Please introduce yourself.
This is my husband,
Okay.
Arthur Washington.
Okay.
Well, first of all, we're certainly very proud to have folks like yourselves spending your time to keep our place historical and beautified.
Right.
And the landmark.
That's
Right.
we wouldn't break any rules.
Right.
Sometimes people say ignorance, you know the rest,
I make lots of mistakes. I'm with you.
and the difficulty that we're having at this particular moment, our contractor quit.
Uh-oh.
You have nothing to do with that because of the time
Right.
constraints. So we hope that perhaps we can get your approval, and therefore we can move forward. Because
To
right now
continue.
it's an eyesore.
Right.
Two different, and we don't want that.
Yes.
So if you give us the approval, so we can go find another contractor. And
Well,
thank you very much.
Yes, sir, and thank you for speaking also. So, it said that your house was designated a landmark back in 1991. That was when the DRB was established, and there were a lot of people in town at that time that wanted the historical character of our lovely town to be protected, including your house as one of the landmark properties in Aiken. And so, we're here to try to make sure that we maintain that feel and that character of the neighborhood. And
Of
so
course.
any questions or comments that we might make, we want you to understand that's our goal also. And I think
No,
it's a shared goal.
We're extremely proud
That's right.
of that.
That's right.
And that's what we intend to do.
Yep. And I can see in some of the pictures you had some damage, and I hope you're taking care of all that.
We have
Yeah,
taken care of
Right.
all of it
good.
We're still
in the
working on it.
process.
Yeah, well, it's probably a never-ending job with a house that large.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly sympathetic to that.
We're committed to doing it the best we can.
Right.
Financially, so.
Yep. And there's a picture of your house before you started with the roof. It's a beautiful home. I think most of us would rather you maintain the color, and not go with the brighter color
knew
is
that.
the issue, right?
So, let me understand, will we be allowed to continue with the blue, or will we have to go back to the red?
We have to vote on that tonight, and that's what you're here is to get a decision from the board.
Whatever you decide, that's what we're gonna do.
Exactly.
Well,
Believe that.
thank you, okay, for being willing to work with us on whatever we decide. So
Of
thank
course.
you in advance.
Thank you much.
Yep. And because you got to do house maintenance, and you won't protect your house if you don't do house maintenance, and you bear a bigger burden than most because of the size of your property.
Oh,
so
yes.
so we understand that.
The age.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Stuff they don't make anymore.
Right.
And it has 3 levels.
Right. It's a huge undertaking, and I know it's a labor of love. Otherwise, you wouldn't go to the trouble.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
But the good thing about it is for your fact that it's one of a kind.
Yes, it is.
Yep. Yep.
That's what I have when we submit the window project.
Yes.
Some things they don't make today. I said, we gotta find that master craftsman so that we can keep those important historical looks
Thank you.
with the windows.
And the important thing, my home is one of a kind, and so am I.
That's right.
True that.
I like that. I like that. Any comments or questions from the board? Yeah, please.
I have one. I might regret jumping into this, but there are some blues that are on the our color chart, our historic
Yes, it
Benjamin
is.
Moore color chart. There are at least two blues. I guess that might be a compromise. It's going to be harder to change that back to red than if you were
Yes.
to temper it some so it's not quite as bright. I think it's attracting a lot of attention the way how bright it is. But that's up to the board to decide if they felt like, we don't know what the color was or way back. You said it was probably red before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Red and rose, that sort of thing.
Yes.
This particular blue is a special order blue. And it's not a bright blue.
I
It's
want it
kinda tempered
softer.
down. Yeah.
More conservative looking.
And I bought enough of that paint, I can't even bring it back because of the restocking fees.
I'm sorry.
Well, I will say this, I grew
Mr.
up very close to where your house is,
Oh,
and it was red,
yeah.
Yes.
all the way back, so.
Yeah, let's recognize.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, well, first of all, I think your house is lovely. I think
Thank
it's
you.
absolutely beautiful. And one of the things that we have to consider is that it's got a landmark status.
Yes, it is.
Which means that there are probably more restrictions on changing conspicuous aspects of your house, and the color of a roof is certainly very conspicuous, as you well know. And so I think that our guidelines frown on changing the roof color of a landmark to the extent that you're considering it from red to blue, and let me explain why. Basically, if you look around, the historic color of the house roof is red. And if you look around your neighborhood, the important thing about keeping your house historic and not changing it too much out of that category is to try to keep the colors, the conspicuous parts similar. And so I would say I would have a problem voting for the blue because it's completely different than anything in
Share something with you.
there. But let me.
I had a problem too. I like the red.
Well, the red, I drove around your neighborhood, and I didn't see any other blue roofs, and I don't see very many blue roofs in Aiken, actually. That color red that you have on there is very historic. There is another red roof in your neighborhood, very similar color, and it's a traditional. It's traditional color for a house of the historic nature that your house is, especially because it's a landmark. And if you read, it's on page 59.
Yeah.
But it says new roof features for an historic property must be compatible in size, scale, color, and materials, and should be as inconspicuous as possible. And so it must not damage or hide important old features, the roof color being an old feature of your house.
My problem was, I'm a landmark. So I didn't want to compare my home with anyone because I'm different from all these homes around me. They are not a landmark like me. So I didn't know how to compare my colors. I called Clyburn and all. They say blue was a historical color, you see. And I wasn't trying to compare myself with, if you don't mind me saying, with customer next to me, because they're not me. They're not a landmark like me.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why I chose blue, because that red, when I decided to put the red up, I called the committee, and they told me, well, Vance, you could do anything you want to do with your roof. That's what happened to me. And that's why I didn't contact y'all. And like I said, please forgive me for not recognizing y'all guys, but now I do.
Okay. All right. Pat, any further comments?
No, other than the fact that unfortunately, it's, when you have a landmark, I think the opposite is true. You have to sort of conform to the historical nature of your house and not go too far away from that.
I understand.
And unfortunately, a roof color is a very historic, it's very, very much part of the historic nature of your house. And because it's a
Understand.
landmark, it would be harder for us to, at least harder for me, I'll just have to speak personally on that, harder for me
To see the blue.
to be able to approve the blue.
Well, I tell you,
That's fair.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I love the original color too.
Yeah.
I said to myself,
So
why
much
the
for your
hell
house.
did
It's
I do that?
Beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So I hope and pray I can get back to the original color. I have no complaints about that.
And at this point, all we're looking for is getting the opportunity to try to find another contractor so we can get back to that red.
Yes. If
Right
you,
now, it's an eyesore.
Yeah.
The red and the
please allow us to do that.
Yeah. Any comments, Leland?
Yeah, I agree with Pat. This is a landmark, and I think you ought to keep it red. I would say that putting a coat of paint on it, regardless of what color it is helping the roof longevity. So you hadn't wasted your money with
Yes,
the painting.
we have.
Well, to a degree you have, but you've got a coat of.
Are there any funny for me with my with my historical
There's a good
home?
coat of paint on there now, and you're going to add another coat to cover it. So.
But we don't mind putting back red. And I respect what you said, because I love red. And I look at the blue, I said to myself, what the hell? I must have been drinking that day or
No,
something.
Luckily,
And
luckily,
I don't drink.
I don't think
No,
so.
you had a vision,
Yeah.
honey.
But,
It's okay.
so I think to kind of wrap this up
Yeah.
is if you want to keep the color that was originally there,
Yes,
it might be a shade different because that's an old roof and you
yes,
know.
it is.
But that's a maintenance item and you don't need to talk to us about maintenance items.
Okay, that's good.
But if you want to change it to blue, then we're going to have to vote on it.
No,
okay.
we're going to go back with the red on that.
And I love your response about my red roof. I love it too.
So, so you can withdraw your application if you
Okay.
don't want to go with blue.
Okay.
And then that'll just be the end of it
And so
we
we
can
can
move
just
forward.
continue. Is that correct?
with red, right?
Thank you. very
Thank you, Don.
Can I just want to say one thing? We're very proud of homeowners that have landmark homes that take the initiative like you have, and
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing some of the comments you've made with us today.
Thank you, and I thank you all guys for giving me comments about my beautiful old home. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
So I can continue, right?
Yep, and you're withdrawing your application, right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Becca, thank you again.
Okay. Thank you very much.
The best. Gave us a lot of valuable information and help.
Thank you for saying so. Okay. Okay, so we are at application, number F, is that right? F and G, okay. Now, we've got these packaged together, so we're gonna hear them as one case, but we're gonna vote on them as two cases, two votes, right?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, please continue.
Items F and G under new business, application numbers CERH26-031 and 032. Applicant Jessica Miller is requesting approval to demolish the existing structure at 502 Highland Park Terrace Southwest and construct a new residence. Tax map parcel number 105-36-01-001. At the April 2nd, 2024 DRB meeting, the DRB approved a renovation project at this location in application number CERH24-039. However, the applicant has cited that several contractors recommended demolition based on the condition of the structure. Due to this, the applicant is now requesting approval to demolish the existing structure in Certificate of Appropriateness application number CERH26-031. A structural observation report conducted by Josh Stewart of J.E. Stewart Engineering was submitted with the demolition application. Additionally, the applicant is now requesting approval to construct a new 2,572 square foot home in Certificate of Appropriateness application number CERH26-032. The proposed new brick home will be whitewashed in Benjamin Moore Simply White. It will have hardy plank shingles in Benjamin Moore Simply White and hardy plank cedar plank accents. The gutters are proposed to be painted Benjamin Moore Essex Green. The proposed windows are vinyl clad wood double hung windows and the color white with simulated divided lights. While the plans include a fenced courtyard and a pool, the applicant has asked that the board do not vote on these aspects of the project. The applicant plans to come before the board at a later date to present the fencing, courtyard, and pool in a separate application. This property is located within the Old Aiken Overlay District and is zoned downtown business. The Aiken Historic Resource Survey card lists the construction date as circa 1940. The Aiken County Assessor's Report lists the construction date as 1937. I think Jessica is here to represent herself.
Please give us your name and address.
I'm Jessica Miller, 502 Highland Park Terrace Southwest. And I did note that on the letter that you just read, it's not the gutters that will be Essex Green, it's the shutters.
Shutters, okay. I think it's written that way. Maybe it's mispronunciation. So, but thank you for clarifying. Anything else you want to add to the notes so far?
No, sir, I think she covered most of it. I presented back about a year ago, was hoping that I would be able to salvage the house and add the addition, the master addition on the back and the porch on the front. And unfortunately, the contractor said that it was not a good idea. And so I took the necessary steps to double check all of those things with Josh Stewart. And then the lot is very narrow, so in the new house plans, since I had the opportunity now to do a whole new floor plan with a new home with the permission the board gives for demolition, I wanted to create something that wasn't such a narrow home that was darker and have something more open, and that's where I came up with the almost like the horseshoe shape that the home is in.
Show us some of the pictures of the new structure, Rebecca.
While you're searching for pictures, I just want to give you 5 stars. I think what you're doing to that little piece of property is amazing.
Thank you.
I drove around that neighborhood, it's a beautiful neighborhood, and what you're doing and what you're replacing. And when you look at the outside of the house, it's really your present house. It really is not in harmony with the other houses the way it is now. But it's just almost too far gone, do you know? So the fact that you're demolishing it, I think is a very, very good thing. And what you're putting in its place is going to be in complete harmony with the rest of your neighbors.
Thank you very much. Yes, I wanted to have like a brighter, cheerier home and something that's southern and welcoming that also still fits into the neighborhood. That was all my goal.
And
even
it
though
does.
it is a different shape, the front of the home is like a southern cottage, and it's just
Right.
a little bit unique with the courtyard in the middle, so that it always feels open and you always have light coming through the house.
Yeah,
Well-
and that's a really good use of that particular lot that you have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I want to echo what Pat said, even from last year when you brought the last application. You were a very thoughtful, thorough person, and it shows in everything that you do.
Thank
So,
you very much. That
Any-
has a fence there, and I had tried to ask them to take that out so you could see it, but looks into the kitchen area from the courtyard, but they had that fence there because in my dream, love a little small pool, but that's for later.
Okay. Any other comments?
No, sir.
Okay. Any questions from the board? McDonald? John?
No, I was shocked when I saw that your house had no stud walls on the exterior. I've heard of other houses after this came up, but it's really dangerous. masonry walls, bearing walls, and no reinforcement.
Yes, sir. You can see, like, if you could stand in the house now, I mean, you don't have to get close to the walls, but you can stand back and see through the cracks, through the walls, and see grass on the outside.
And most of the time, a lot of brick houses have that, and it doesn't matter. It's just the veneer, and so you just don't worry about it. But yours, it's the bearing wall. I only know of one other building like that, and that's the hotel downtown.
Wow.
Okay. Leland? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. We'll have you sit down and we'll see if there's any public comment in favor of this application. Any comment opposed to this application? Now's your chance. Okay. Hearing none, I will petition the board for a motion for demolition.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion. Reference to certificate application CERH 26-031, based on the information provided by Josh Stewart, the information that we've received in the way of photographs, and some of us have taken on-site visits to look at it. I think the application and request for demolition should be approved.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor, show of hands. Unanimous. So that motion carries. All right, we'll move on to part two, which is the approval for the new construction. Do I hear a motion from the board?
Well, I've got my mic on, so I'll do it.
Okay. Thank you.
In reference to application CERH 26-032, in reference to the new design or new building to be replacing the one that is going to be demolished. I think the comments made by the board members and the details that have gone into it, and based on the old Aiken design guidelines, I feel like that we ought to approve this, as it will be an enhancement to the community and that neighborhood.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the board? All those in favor, a show of hands. That's a unanimous vote also. No opposed. You have your demolition and your new construction approval. Thank you. Okay, so is that it? Ooh, that was the one we was looking for. Yeah. So before we adjourn, I think we'd like to do a little recognition. We've got two board members that have served on and off for many, many years. And we'd like to, we've got a city council person here that would like to make a presentation. So Barbara, if you'd come forward. Y'all want to, where you want to do this? You want to come up here? That was locked.
Mr. Chairman, it is really my pleasure tonight. I graduated to City Council from DRB, so I know my roots. And I am grateful to have the opportunity to recognize people that have been here, because you all make so much money. The salaries are incredible.
Right.
And I know we've had a couple of years, as I've been on DRB, that have been memorable. And I think we need to appreciate what it takes to do what we do, to use your time, your talents, and to give to the city of your passions and your concerns for how it will be. And there are two people tonight that this will be their last meeting, and I just think I brought cookies because I think cookies mean that you care enough to bake and love people, because putting something in your tummy that's good doesn't happen like it used to. I'm sorry, I'm just old enough to say that. So I have the opportunity tonight to recognize two people. I'm going to do the longest serving first. McDonald Law we have a proclamation by the mayor that says appreciation is today presented to McDonald Law in recognition of outstanding support for the community through service on the Design Review Board during the period April 14th, 1997 to January 6, 2026. That's quite I don't think there are many people that have had that. So we are presenting it on behalf of the citizens of the city of Aiken to you, McDonald. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Council Member. You didn't have to go to all that trouble, but I really did appreciate the cookies.
I can.
It's okay. This is important. Yep, see, come on. Thank you. Thank you. And then we have my fellow compatriot, Patricia Corey. Most people might not know that Pat was brought in. She helped write the Design Review Board guidelines.
Yep.
She worked with McDonald Law's father on one of the first design review boards, which was then called Historic Preservation Commission. I'm not saying how many years ago that was, but it was longer than where McDonald
a long
was.
time ago,
But you all do the
1990.
math.
1990.
Right. And again, we have a certificate of appreciation to Patricia Corey in recognition of outstanding support to the community through the service on the Design Review Board during the period of March 2024 to January 2026. It's been an incredible 2 years. Thank you for your support. I know Mr. Chairman has already indicated that you will continue to serve on a committee that will help get these things that cause us to want to pull our hair out or turn our hair gray, depending on your problem. That we will continue to work, and we appreciate your service. So I'd like for you to come down and thank you all. Thank you. And there are cookies in the back, and they're good. And and I brought little baggies to take them home if you'd like one to take home too.
Thank you very much.
You're more
Thank you,
than welcome.
Barbara.
And Barbara, thank you for all you did while you served.
That's
with
right.
us.
Yeah, that graduation was tough.
All right.
And
Well, I think that concludes our meeting for tonight, so the meeting is adjourned.